Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the effects different frequencies can have on the brain. I'm gonna get in a quick live real quick in between football games. Didn't really have anything to do in between these football games, so give me 1 second here to get started. All right, let's get started here. So this first one is this kid's name was like John Ray something. He was a rapper by the name of XXX Tentacion. He was murdered a few years ago in Florida. But I always remembered this video here, and he's talking about different frequencies, and he knows how to basically change people's moods by using different frequencies. It's pretty interesting. Let's get it going.
Point of music? What's the point of music? Niggas don't know. It's not always to have fun. It's not always to have fun. Sometimes it's to help people find themselves because music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? I will hope a motherfucker before they go put some negative shit.
Yeah, and I apologize for the language, guys. He was a young kid, and I mean that was part of his vocab.
Out this conversation, they pull this part of the conversation, and they see that I'm really actually helping people, bro. Let me be detailed. At 15 years old, I was doing sound engineering, so I was playing with frequency. I was playing with equalizers. Now, I think it's it's not a sonar wave. I forgot. It's like an alpha wave or a sonar wave or something like that. I figured out that hertz is to understand the frequency vibration, right? So there's kilohertz. Well, sorry, there's hertz, kilohertz, megahertz, right? And then I think it's ultra hertz. If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, target the frequency to go to certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, like, if I want you to astral project, right? You know, astral project.
That's pretty crazy, guys. I've done a lot of research over this over the years, and I believe what he's saying there. I remember back to when I was in my 20s when I did used to like smoke weed and stuff during college. Like anytime I would hear like a certain song about weed, you would always have to smoke. This was 25 years ago, like when I don't smoke anymore, but I think back to those times, anytime I'd hear like specific songs, I would have to smoke with that song. So everything he's saying right here makes a lot of sense. Um, the subconscious mind is crazy. So I definitely believe different frequencies can have different effects on the mind for sure. Like 100%.
Projection is. No. If I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
I used to be a big fan of a rap group called Bone Thugs and Harmony like 20 years ago. That's what I was talking about. Basically, anytime I'd hear a Bone song, we would have to smoke. So that tells me right there that there's a correlation to frequencies and stuff.
These little niggas out here don't give a fuck enough to go into that science, bro. These little niggas ain't studying kilohertz, megahertz, and doing all this shit. These little niggas don't know how to equalize, compress, and do all this shit. And the ones that do, okay, maybe
let me say it again so they don't try to cut me and paste me. I don't smoke weed anymore, guys. I'm talking about 20 years ago. I'm just talking about my experiences like 20 years ago when I was in college, basically. That way you guys can't cut me up and try to make it sound like I smoke weed.
Maybe your music not good enough to where it got to where, or maybe you not.
Which, I mean, I don't have too much of a problem with people who do, really. I don't know. I look at it like God said he put every plant and seed form here for our benefit and consumption. I think there are medical benefits, especially out of CBD oil. I think CBD oil does amazing things. I think they could probably find a lot of medical like helps and stuff if they actually tested it. But I've been like that. I don't do it, but I don't see I look at it the same as drinking. Like if people drink, why are they going to get on to people that smoke weed like that? Like it doesn't make sense to me. But like I said, I think every plant form was put here for us. I would probably, I don't know. I think it'd be better for people to do that than like all the pain medications and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean it is what it is.
Not real enough. Maybe your goal is not good enough. Sorry. There's some people out here that do that. You know what I'm saying? That do work. But maybe you ain't putting in the ambition. Maybe you ain't saying the right shit. Maybe you not you. Maybe you trying to sound like somebody else. Cause I ain't, bro. It's a blessing. Hell yeah. But I worked. I worked, bro. You could ask anybody around me, nigga. I worked, bro. My mom.
Yeah, I mean, for him being so young to know about frequencies tells me he did a lot of reading. Like I know, like Toronto Bible Study smokes weed. He openly admits it, and people used to really get onto him for it. And I'm like, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be a problem. I guess it just depends on the person, really. But I see people used to get on Toronto all the time because he would openly admit that he smokes weed. I don't know. Let me get this one going. But yeah, I don't even drink or anything. I'm not a fan of alcohol. I don't drink or anything. I used to drink when I was in college in my 20s. I don't know, I just didn't really care for it too much. I used to see my friends getting in all kinds of trouble and acting like idiots when they would get drunk. I would only drink beer back in the day. I never was really a drinker. I didn't care for it too much. But I think more people get in trouble with alcohol than weed. That's what I was trying to say. Is really, I think, I don't know. I'm not trying to promote it. I'm just saying I think alcohol is probably worse for people because obviously they do stupid stuff when they're on it. But I would recommend not doing either, guys. Really, I mean, CBD. I don't see nothing wrong with CBD at all. I've taken CBD before because I have Crohn's disease and it helps a lot with my inflammation. I don't see nothing wrong with CBD at all because they take all the THC out of it and you don't get high from it. So I don't see nothing wrong with CBD.
Music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, target the frequency to go.
I know, though, it does tell us not to go to sleep with our temple uncleansed, though. So, I mean, yeah, I would recommend not doing none of it, guys. But yeah, it does tell us not to go to bed with our temple uncleansed.
Go to certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, if I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
The brain processes information electrically. It communicates with the cellular structure electrically, and it operates within a certain band of frequency. If you can broadcast frequencies carrying information, this technology has long been known, carrying information and perception.
And here's what's really scary is I've seen different whistleblowers come out over the last few years, and they say the government has basically some type of frequency weapons. They actually showed the patents for them and stuff. That's actually really scary right there. One of them, they say they could literally control a crowd of like 100,000 people like instantly with some type of specific frequency. It'll just make everybody feel like they're drunk basically and start falling over. That's super scary right there.
Within the frequency that the brain decodes information, the brain will decode those frequencies and will have those perceptions. You can externally influence people's perceptions externally by broadcasting these frequencies that we interact with, because we are antenna.
The sad reality is,
Yeah, now you know why people were warning so much about 5G. But that's a whole nother rabbit hole right there to go down. That would get me off for a tangent for an hour. But yeah, that's why people were scared of 5G coming in, basically, all the 5G towers, because they can emit different types of frequency off those towers.
that where we now play our music is in A440. Where did that come from? It used to be 417. A440 came in with the Roman Catholic Church. They suppressed the frequencies. They lost somehow the 152 of the best Gregorian chants, including the hymn to St. John the Baptist, which we've now recovered. That particular hymn was what triggered Dr. Palaio's investigation.
Oh, wow. That's the first time I've heard that. That's crazy. I'm going to have to actually investigate into that. I can't say whether that's true or not. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that is true, but I'm not going to say either way because I don't know either way. But that's actually really interesting.
Looking for those frequencies of vibration by which the music was played. It was known as the most uplifting hymn of all the ages, the most spiritually uplifting hymn. Hymn to St. John the Baptist. It was played to 6 tones. These are those 6 tones. These are those 6 frequencies. And so the A440 is what now is the standard tuning. If you go A439, you're closer to one of the Creator's tones. If you go A441, you're closer to one of the Creator's original tones. That's how precisely it has been manipulated. To do what? To shut down the 95% of your brain, particularly the right brain that operates the heart mind for the divine human community.
Wow. That's not surprising because in rock, there's a specific chord. I think they call it the devil's chord. It's a specific chord they play, but it's called like Lucifer's chord or the devil's chord. And then we got to remember Satan basically, they say, was built for music, basically. And so it's not surprising music would be one of his biggest weapons against us. Music and TV. I mean, it's not surprising at all.
Some decades ago, there was a guy who worked out the frequencies of different emotional states. This is long ago. I mean, it's very, very sophisticated now. So every thought, every emotional response is a frequency. It generates a frequency, and it is of itself a frequency. Hate is a frequency, and it's different to love. When you are in a room and there's lots of aggression and conflict and hatred, you feel it. What do people say? Oh, God, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife in there.
I mean, that's very true. That's really true. I've been in some situations like that where you can literally feel the aggression and the tenseness in the air. Yeah, that's 100% true. I've been to a few places like that. I mean, one of them everyone had to scatter after gunshots started ringing out. So you can definitely feel that in the air for sure.
That is because the frequencies of hate and conflict have been so generated, they have changed the electromagnetic field of the room.
When you go driving your car and your channel on the radio is tuned to a station and you're grooving to the music, you love that music. As you get farther and farther away from the broadcasting tower, that music gets static. You start to lose the signal from the clear channel, broadcast, and it gets staticky. When it gets staticky, you get a little annoyed. But you want to listen to it. You really have a heart for that music, so you continue to listen to it for another 10, 15 miles, and suddenly it becomes so annoying that you just get disgusted, you go, and you shut it off. And if you continue to listen to it, you get sick. That's what we're talking about here. Except you don't even know that you've been listening to the static your whole life. You don't even.
What's up, Stefan? It's all good, buddy. He said there's 3 channels currently streaming. I have to divide my time. Nice. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, buddy.
know what the true resident
I do that too when I watch channels. I'll be bouncing around when I'm watching them.
frequency is, because it has been kept.
Of course, to really be
Who else is streaming right now?
effective, we need to use the proper words and phrases, scientifically selected. But that gives you the
I was just getting in like a quick 30-40 minute stream before the next football game. I was sitting around bored waiting on the next game to start.
basic idea. We embed messages just below the threshold of perception, so they can go directly into the subconscious.
They can play across a community these frequencies without anyone knowing, and it starts to have an effect, and it starts to build.
I never really trusted David Icke. I don't know. He's kind of like Alex Jones to me. I never really trusted either of them.
Build rage, it starts to build anger, and people might not realize why they're feeling it, but they start to feel it. And then what they do is they trigger that with an event. Maybe some guy is attacked by the police or something, or somebody's arrested for something they didn't commit, and now there's the trigger. The blue touch paper's been.
Stefan said Jamie Russell, CME, and Prima Scriptura. Okay, I've heard of Jamie Russell. I'm pretty sure they were talking about him on Praise's stream last night. I think they were making fun of him or something.
Been lit of this.
I've heard of the other channel too, the Sola one. I've never seen it. I'll go check it out though.
Manufactured frequency-driven rage, and you have mass riots and what have you.
Hey, Stefan, so I'm seeing a lot of people are thinking Veckel was in on that whole Praise situation. Have you guys talked to him? Just because how that first live, what's his name, dude was cussing at him, calling him every name in the book, and Veckel's like, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you. And then the next live, they just started talking like buddy. So I've been seeing a lot of people are saying they think Veckel knew about all that. What do you think?
People do things that they wouldn't normally do.
So in other words, the master composer.
I was talking to Jared last night on my live, and he was he basically is under the same opinion. We were just curious if you guys have talked to Veckel, because I would have been mad if that was me when they did that. I would have felt like they basically used me.
Master conductor of the Universal Orchestra is singing love songs in 5/8, uplifting everything simultaneously. And we're the only species out of tune and accepting static for the clear channel.
Do you know that the American military, they've admitted this. They have technology that fires frequencies at the enemy that basically breaks the enemy's spirit, so they give up and put their weapons down.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. I've seen the actual patents for that. They have those type of crazy weapons. One of them is mounted on a truck. It's like a big energy beam wave, and they just aim it at a crowd and turn it on, and people will start throwing up, and that's scary right there.
This is the technology we're dealing with.
Okay, so yep. So this one right here is a Japanese scientist did a study with sound and water, and he figured out that different sounds would cause different shapes in the water. It's pretty interesting. Stefan said, no, I haven't spoke to Veckel since. I can't think he was in on it, but then again, it's social media, so who knows? Even if he was in on it, I will be disappointed if Veckel was in on it. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like you said, it is the internet. I don't know. I've just been seeing a bunch of different people talking, and it seems like everybody has the same opinion that maybe he was given a heads up. just because of how cordial it was when dude popped in. That was how he didn't want nothing to do with them the live before, and then that live they just started talking like all buddy. I think that's what threw people off right there. Which I don't know if Veckel like that. I said in my live I commend him for trying to do what he was doing with praising them. So he might just be a super nice guy, had nothing to do with it, and was like, just took a deep breath and was like, whatever. That could be the case too. But I was talking with a servant, and he was saying he was going to go talk to Veckel about all of it and stuff, and try to figure out what had happened. Because he basically felt like they played him, and he wasn't. He was kind of upset about it, basically.
The following topic is often classified as pseudoscience because its spiritual implications are dismissed on principle and relegated to the realm of esotericism. Although nowadays people are increasingly open to researches and ideas about the importance of vibrations and energies, the concepts of programmed water or remembering water are still unbelievable to most people. Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese researcher, born on the 22nd of July 1943 in Yokohama, Japan, has gained international recognition for his studies and experiments on the influence of human consciousness on the molecular structure of water. Dr. Emoto holds a degree in international relations from Yokohama Municipal University and a doctorate in alternative medicine in 1992. In 1986, he founded International Health Medical, and in 1989 was granted exclusive rights to market the magnetic resonance analyzer, a device patented by Ronald Weinstock. This device could detect, for example, a magnetic field around a human hair and diagnose.
Oh yeah, too. I meant to say this in the beginning, and I forgot. So the Praise Channel, why do you guys keep lying? Like, you guys are literally just liars. Oh, we're gonna start timing people out for 5 minutes. No, you blocked Stefan instantly. You blocked me that first night. It wasn't a 5-minute timeout. And then yesterday, you guys blocked me again for saying that. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I got blocked for this. So, Praise was basically saying that Hashem is Jesus. And I commented saying, do you know that Hashem is a euphemism of a euphemism? And that they blocked me for that. Like, what? That's so crazy. So, for anyone who doesn't know, so the Jews are forbidden to say Yahweh's name. It's forbidden for them. They can't say it. They don't even say the name God. They don't even spell the name God. They spell it a G dash with a D. So instead, they say the word Hashem. So Hashem is a euphemism for God, which God is a euphemism for Yah. So it's a euphemism of a euphemism. And they literally blocked me for that. You guys are such liars. Not a five. Oh, it's going to be a 5-minute timeout, guys, and then a 30-minute timeout, and then a 24-hour. You guys are such liars. You blocked me, you blocked Stefan, you blocked Jared. You guys just lie about everything.
It's almost any disease.
And that's for you, Praise. A little lesson there, so you'll know what Hashem is. It's a euphemism of a euphemism. So when you say Hashem, who are you really talking to?
In the same year, he renamed the device to Vibrationometer, which he himself became the operator of, and it was around this time that he began to realize that our entire world was made up of vibrations of different frequencies. And he was not alone.
All right, Stefan says, I don't have contact with anyone outside of YouTube except for Jamie, Janet, and Andy, a universalist. I've got Jamie and Janet on Facebook and Andy's email. Oh, okay. Yeah, the only person I really talk to is Jared from Bible Talk. Me and him talk offline. He's a good kid. I really like Jared. He's a super good kid. I try to be there to help mentor him a little bit, and when he's going through stuff, and help him out. But I really like Jared. He's a good kid.
In this realization as Nikola Tesla, one of the most brilliant minds and
He
inventors.
gets a lot of stuff too. I mean, I think it's amazing for a kid his age to be on YouTube preaching, and not a lot of kids his age do that nowadays. And he catches a lot of flack for it, and people try to make fun of him, and yeah, it irritates me. He's such a good kid.
Inventors of the last centuries, among others, said, if you want to find the secrets of
Also, everyone subscribe to him, Bible Talk Podcast, Jared. I know Stefan and you guys are. Any new people, go check out Jared at Bible Talk Podcast.
Universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
If a man took testosterone therapy for 30 days, here is exactly how his body will transform.
As I mentioned, everything
Tesla came up with all kinds of stuff, and then the government went in and stole all of his work basically after he died. They ran up in his house and took all of his paperwork. They say they made his death ray. He had a death ray weapon he had written down, and they say the government made that. Who knows? But I know Tesla was definitely a genius.
thing is made up of vibration.
But whether he was into the occult and stuff like that, so I mean, I don't know. Who knows if he was a genius or if he was getting help with that from some outside entity. Who knows?
Vibrations and energies. So
I think some of the technology humans have, I think it's been given to us by fallen angels for sure. I don't know. I think especially some of the technology in this century, I think stuff has advanced so much. I don't know. It makes me wonder.
are intangible concepts such as thoughts and emotions. Dr. Emoto's research has focused on how these affect the physical properties of water. He hypothesized that water molecules can store and transmit information, and that this information can be influenced by external stimuli, including human consciousness. He claimed that exposing water to positive or negative emotions,
Which, that's not really surprising if you think about it. Pretty much this whole earth is water, and our bodies are made up of, what is it, like 90% water? So that's actually, this isn't surprising at all. Everything's almost comes down to water.
music, even the written word, can change its molecular structure, which in turn makes a difference to the way water behaves and looks. In one of Dr. Emoto's most famous experiments, he exposed distilled water to different types of music. He practically made the water samples listen to them. He then froze these samples so that he could analyze the crystal structure of the water molecules that had turned to ice using a microscope. He observed that water samples exposed to classical music had beautiful and symmetrical crystalline structures, while samples exposed to heavy metal and other types of negative music, for example, had distorted, chaotic structures.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Exactly. Look how chaotic looking that one is. Wow. Look at the difference. Just think about what that kind of music is doing to people. Like, I mean, we see it. Look at all the shootings and all that kind of crap going on. I'm a firm believer the music and all that kind of stuff plays a part in all that stuff. But this right here just really makes it double down for me.
Structures. In one particular experiment, a song about a love breakup was played to the water, and the result was astonishing. The frozen water crystals were almost broken in two. In another experiment, distilled water was exposed to words with positive and
The word angel, the word peace, look at all, that's crazy. All the ones like the word angel, peace, spirit, look how like nice and like beautiful they look almost. Look at the ones with like the words you disgust me and fool, and wow. There's a huge difference. That's crazy.
and negative meanings. Dr. Emoto wrote words such as love and gratitude on bottles of water, while he wrote negative words such as hate and fear on other bottles. He found that water molecules exposed to positive words formed beautiful, symmetrical, ordered crystals, while water molecules exposed to negative words formed distorted, ugly, and disordered crystals. Further differences were found between the waters of bottles with the same meaning, but labeled in different
I wanna put that
languages.
stupid picture right here with her throwing up 666.
So a different crystal structure was found in the water samples of the bottle labeled with the Japanese and the English equivalents of love. Emoto also experimented with floral aromas and flower extracts. These also arranged water molecules into unique shapes depending on the shape and characteristics of the petals of the flowers.
Oh, wow.
His work also included the study of the impact of prayer and intention on water. He found that exposing water to positive intentions and prayers can result in better water quality, while negative intentions and curses can have the opposite effect. In one experiment, Professor Emoto took a water sample from a pond and froze part of it. The frozen molecules were quite amorphous and irregular. When a priest prayed next to another part of the same water sample, after freezing the sample, a perfectly regular, beautiful crystal lattice
Wow.
appeared under the microscope. When Emoto asked the praying priest what he was thinking about during the prayer, the priest replied that he was invoking the spirits of the 7 goddesses of fortune. The professor was amazed as the sample took a heptagonal shape, one he had never seen before in any of his experiments.
Yeah, I don't know. That must be some Japanese belief. I've never heard of those 7 whatever he said there. It must be some type of Japanese belief.
Emoto has also basically proved that thoughts have a creative power, whether we are talking about positive or negative thoughts, and this is perfectly demonstrated
So they obviously, a lot of these guys had something to do with the New Age based on the drawings and stuff in the background.
in water crystals. But the same is true of spoken words, which is why prayers and Buddhist mantras can have a real effect.
Yeah, I've always been under that belief that words have power. I've always believed that for sure.
He also believed that water has memory, which means it can retain and transmit information to other water molecules. If we assume that about 70% of the human body is made up of water, it makes a big difference under what circumstances, in what environment.
Stefan said in the 90s when we were on standby in the military, we were confined to the barracks ready to respond to riots on short notice. We played AC/DC, etc. to get in that aggressive mood. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. That's 100% true. Wow. Yeah, I was just saying in the beginning of my video, if you guys didn't see, I was talking about when I was in college in my 20s when I used to smoke weed. This was 20 years ago. I don't smoke anymore. But when certain songs would come on, like we would have to smoke when that song played. That's what I was trying to convey basically. So it's definitely, there's something there for sure.
And with what quality of thoughts and
I was
emotions.
saying I was a big, this group called Bone Thugs and Harmony, we were big into them back in the day. And anytime any of their songs came on, everybody would have to smoke. And I always thought about that, like years later, like, wow. I always wondered, like, why did we always want to smoke anytime we'd hear one of their songs come on? So there's definitely something to it.
We consume our daily water intake. Astonishingly, no crystal structure is formed in tap water treated with chlorine or even in water exposed to microwaves. Another interesting experiment of Emoto's is the rice experiment, which anyone can easily try at home, and you can also find some videos on YouTube from people who have already tried it. For this experiment, all you need is cooked rice, divided into jars labeled with different positive and negative words, and then sealed. Stored in the same place, under the same conditions, so that they are subjected to the same conditions, over a given time the rice will change differently in the jar, depending on whether they are labeled with positive or negative words. The rice in the jar with the word love remained visibly beautiful, while the rice in the jar with the word hate turned moldy. If you do try this experiment, please be sure to comment and let me know how it turned.
What? That's crazy.
Turns out.
I was thinking, should we try that experiment? We'll put it on video and see if it really works. I'm interested to know if that really works, or if they just set that up.
Quantum physics has proven that the whole universe vibrates, and that everything that exists has its own unique frequency of vibration. Each thought has
Yeah, I think I might try that. I might do that test and see if it actually works. I'll record the whole process and we'll see if it actually works.
its own frequency, a specific wavelength, which is expressed in every cell of our body, since most living organisms are made of water. In 1989, Warren J. Hammerman wrote that the organic material of the human body produces a sound at a frequency 42 octaves above middle C. That is a sound that is a vibration of 570 billion hertz. So that's the scientific basis when we talk about how our emotions change the vibration of our bodies, which we may also feel in our fellow human beings. The scientific evidence for measurable changes in emotion is being addressed by the HeartMath Institute, among others. We've all experienced a change of mood where we've been depressed and discouraged, but when we've had
Yeah, I've never heard of the HeartMath Institute. I don't know what they are.
good news or a positive change, our zest for life and energy has returned in the blink of an eye, and as a result, we have a different effect on those around us. As Dr. Emoto and colleagues at the HeartMath Institute have discovered, this high vibration is achieved through high levels of emotion such as love and gratitude. In fact, the researchers claim that gratitude produces an emotional impact twice as strong as love.
All right, so that HeartMath Institute, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like some type of esoteric thing from what I'm looking at right now. It looks like New Age to me for sure. I'm pretty sure it's some type of New Age company or something.
Dr. Emoto was also keenly interested in Dr. Rupert Sheldrake's theory of the morphogenetic field, since his experiment with water crystals was nothing less than a visualization of the resonance of the morphogenetic field. Dr. Emoto's work has been criticized by many scientists who say his experiments lack scientific rigor. His claims were not supported by mainstream science, and his theories about the properties of water were not accepted by the scientific community. Despite these criticisms, Dr. Emoto's work has had a significant impact on popular culture, and his ideas have inspired many people around the world. Many people have adopted his theories and practices, including drinking and using water with positive words on water bottles and playing classical music to improve the quality.
Yeah, I wouldn't go and do all that, guys. Don't do that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing just looking at the information and learning stuff, but I wouldn't start writing on your bottles and doing all that crap, guys. I wouldn't recommend that at all.
Of water in their homes. His work has thus influenced the fields of spirituality, naturopathy, and holistic healing.
Yeah, so basically the New Age movement.
In addition to his research on water, Dr. Emoto was also a prolific author, writing several books on his theories and findings. Among his most popular books are The Hidden Messages in Water, The True Power of Water, and The Miracle of Water. In 2005, he founded the Emoto Peace Project, a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting world peace through the power of positive thinking and intention. The organization encouraged people around the world to send positive intentions and prayers for peace to water sources in the hope that the ripple effect of peace and harmony would spread around the world.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting into the esoteric part of it. Yep.
In addition to his research, the professor was also a sought-after lecturer and teacher, and traveled the world to share his ideas and findings with others. He was known for his charismatic personality and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life.
Let me show you why I stopped paying for all my other sample libraries. This is Arcade by Output. This thing has sound.
Dr. Emoto Masaru passed away on the 17th of October 2014, but his work and ideas continue to inspire people around the world. Its legacy is a testament to the power of human
Well, we see what he's wearing there, guys.
consciousness and the potential of nature to heal and transform
Well, yeah, I think we see what this guy was about already. Now it makes me wonder if his tests were even real.
our lives. Here is an extended selection of Emoto's photographs of water crystals exposed to different influences, words, music, prayers. Water crystals in natural waters. Sanbu Ichiyusui spring water, Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan. Water from the Fuji River, Shizuoka Prefecture, Japan. The water of the Holy Well of Lourdes, France. Ice from Antarctica.
I mean, it could be true, but I think it starts getting super esoteric when they're going around praying on different like water sources, and that was weird. Yeah. And then that Heart Math Institute I looked up, that's definitely New Age for sure. So it's looking like this is all New Age esoteric stuff.
Lake Maggiore, Switzerland. Mount Cook Glacier, New Zealand. Sample taken from the middle of the Shimanto River, Kochi Prefecture, Japan. The Saijo Spring Water, Hiroshima Prefecture, Japan. The Amazon River, South America.
See, that's the thing, though, is every picture comes from the office of him. So that's what's making me a little bit leery, is there's no other scientist or organization that's gone and basically tried to replicate his work. It's all just stuff he's presenting. So yeah, that makes me wonder right there. Why has nobody gone behind him and tried to replicate his work to verify it? Stuff like this is cool to learn and to watch, guys. But yeah, if there's nobody else that's replicated this or can verify it, yeah, I wouldn't put too much stock into it unless we could see that, yeah, okay, multiple people have done this.
The Huilo Huilo Waterfall, Chile. Lake Titicaca, Peru. Antipolo, Philippines. Lake Baikal, Russia. Lake Motosuko, Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan. Lake Biwako, the largest lake in central Japan and the reservoir of the Kinki region.
I mean, they're clearly different shapes and they look different, but we don't know. We don't know if that was a natural sample that appeared like that by itself, or if something was added to it, or some type of process was done to make them look different. So yeah, this is probably one of those. I don't know. I don't know if it's 100% true or if it was manipulated. I don't know. It's kind of hard to make a decision when nobody else has gone behind him and verified it. So yeah, I would just say take it with a grain of salt. That's what I would recommend.
Pollution here is getting worse. Japan's Yodo River flows into the Gulf of Osaka. The river flows through most of Kasai's major cities. And to different kinds of music, such crystals were formed. Tchaikovsky, Swan Lake. Pachelbel, Canon. Johann Strauss II, The Beautiful Blue Danube.
I don't know. Maybe someone has gone behind him and done research. When I'm offline, I'll do a little bit more research into this, and I'll see if anybody's replicated his work or tried to prove it or disprove it.
Sarasate, Zigeunerweisen. John Lennon, Imagine. Beethoven, Symphony No. 5.
All right, Stefan says the native New Zealand Maori were really into spiritism when Cook arrived. So the Maoris, Stefan, remember that video I showed you of like the Parliament, and they were in there like doing the dance and stuff? That was the Maori, wasn't it? Those people. And then he also said glacier water has a green look to it. Yeah, that would make sense. Probably different minerals and stuff in it, huh? But that would make sense. It has a green look. Probably has different minerals.
5. Fate.
But yeah, we're the Maori people. That one video I sent you in the Parliament, where they all stood up and were doing their tribal dance. I think that was the Maori.
Bach, Air on the G string. Mozart, Symphony No. 40 in G minor.
Wait, he said, what did he say? Hair on the G string? Is that where the term for the women's underwear G string comes from? I wonder. Huh, it might be.
Debussy, Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun. Debussy, La Mer. Mendelssohn, The Wedding March.
Stefan said, yes, the dancing ones were the Maori party members. They're easy to upset. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was the Maori. Okay. I just remember seeing that, and I was like, oh, it was in New Zealand. And I remembered you were in New Zealand. So I sent it to you.
One of the theme songs from the film The Sound of Music, Edelweiss. Amazing Grace, church hymn. Smetana, Moldau. Schubert, Ave Maria. Iosif Ivanovici, Waves of the Danube. Vivaldi, The Four Seasons, string. Vivaldi, The Four Seasons, summer. Vivaldi, The Four Seasons, autumn. Vivaldi, The Four Seasons, winter. Beethoven, Symphony No. 6, pastoral. Kawachi folk dance, folk music.
No one seems to know this,
Looks
but
like they're just
Amazon
showing
actually has a
pictures
$50 million fund that they have to pay out.
The effects on water of different photos stuck on bottles. Cherry blossoms. Dolphins. Elephant. Heart mark. Lotus flower. An Egyptian pyramid.
I mean, it's all fascinating. I wish there was a way we could verify all this. I heard him say earlier a lot of the contemporaries in the science world kind of were leery and skeptical about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting though to watch, I guess. But yeah, definitely. I believe in the first part, the music. I definitely think different frequencies have different effects on the brain, 100%. Like I said, I saw the patents online for, I don't even know what they were calling it. It was a weapon the Army made that they shoot basically frequencies at a large group of people, and they'll literally incapacitate them. They can start puking, they'll fall over, can't stand up, they'll be dizzy. So I 100% believe different frequencies could have different effects on the brain. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, guys. Pretty interesting. You can let me know your thoughts below. I think I might do a little bit more into the musical aspect of it and do a little 1 or 2 part music series. Yeah, I think I'll start that tomorrow, probably same time around 3. I'll probably be back on tonight at 9, do some type of live. I'm just playing around with different times, trying to see if I get more viewers during the day or at night type of thing. So I'll probably come back tonight for an hour, hour and a half or so and cover something. But yeah, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go make some dinner and then watch the other football game. But God bless Stefan. God bless whoever else was watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, guys.